Today, I am with Ruby. She makes some amazing rings and some amazing bow tie. Ruby, nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you.
Tell me your story.
Yeah, so I'm from Cache Valley, live here in South Jordan, but it's like on the border of Sandy and South Jordan, so it's kind of close. But yeah, I graduated from Weber State University studying political science with a minor in legal studies. So eventually I want to go into law, which is a big reason why I do this. So in order to pay for law school, I'm doing everything I can to pay for it. So I've always done art and I've always done different things. And because I've done this since 2019, I just thought, why not continue to do my art and sell it in order to pay for law school? So that's my story.
Wow. So I like that story. You doing this because you wanna, pretty much don't wanna go into student loan debt, at least minimize it.
Yeah.
And you've been saving up for that. But how did you know how to make this stuff?
Yeah, so because I have ADHD, I kind of am a hobby collector. So I'll see things on Instagram, YouTube, and what I like to call YouTube University. I just learned through YouTube how to make. I've done a ton of things, and then a lot of it took a lot of figuring out and just doing it myself. So yeah, most of the things I was able to find through scrap metal and different things like that, and then decide what I wanted to make out of it through creativity and through just different things I've seen on YouTube.
And you say you started in 2019, right? Mm-hmm. And have you been going to all the farmer market and all the market like this?
Yeah. So in 2019, I started doing it through Etsy, and then Etsy is just kind of hard for small sellers just because of the fees and different things like that. So I found out about markets. I've always really liked going to them, and so I said, why not? Let's try doing some. And so little by little, I started building my little business. So at first, it was random tables and chairs I found at home with tablecloths that my mom had, and then little by little, I started buying or finding things off of Facebook Marketplace to build up what I have now. So most of the things is that I have, like decorations is used and recycled. But like the newer things that I have put more time and effort into buying is just a little bit of like decor, of course, the tent, and then other things like that, just to make sure things look more nice, but also so I can display my products better.
Wow. I know a lot of vendors when they go to markets, sometimes they have a certain amount of money they want to make. Let's say the event costs them $50. Maybe they want to double it or full time that to $200. Do you have a goal when you go to market? And let's say you sign up, it costs you $20. Do you have a goal on how much money you want to make?
Of course. So I always want to break even first, but so like if I spent 30, I also put in the time. So I have this whole spreadsheet that I do, but it's, I put in the time. So I calculate my time as $15 an hour, which is like minimum wage. And then I put the amount of product I have and how long it took me to set up. So if it takes me about 2 hours to set up, then I also calculate that in. And then I calculate the gas there and back. And then I also calculate how much money it'll take me to eat, drink water, whatever, and then the booth fee. And then from there, that's how I decide whether I want to break even. So let's say all together with gas and everything is about $150. So from there, I decide I want to do at least 2 times or 3 times the amount that I already put in, because that's what makes a market worth it. If not, then that's how I decide whether or not I come back to a market. And so I have this all like in a little spreadsheet. So in case I forget, I'll be like, oh, this market's coming up. Let me look at my spreadsheet. And then from there, I'm like, oh, it's marked in red because I barely made anything last time. And also just in Facebook groups, there's vendors markets reviews, and people will tell you how well it does. And from there, I also share whatever I find. And that's just kind of like the process of how I decide whether a market's worth it, but also how much money was worth, like how much money I wanted to make out of it.
I see. I know a lot of vendors, they always want to bring their own lunch when they go to the markets, because a lot of time the food truck that are at the markets, or the lady that sell the tamales at the market, those food can be really expensive, because they know, the food truck is there. You cannot drive. You have a booth. Do you bring your own food? What do you do to reduce the amount of money you spend at the market?
Yeah. So it really depends, but most of the time I actually do like to buy stuff at the market, because I understand like shop small, go small, and like I believe in karma. So I'm like, if I help someone, then hopefully someone will help me. And then I just hope. And then also through there, I've made friends. So people will say like, hey, I saw you at the last market. I'll give you like a free empanada if I can have like this piece of jewelry. And then I'll do those trades. So a lot of times I like to trade with other markets or other vendors as well, just because I want to help them just as much as they want to help me. And so obviously, like sometimes I am tight on money and like I'll try to bring my own little snacks so I'm not just sitting there hungry. But I also try to think outward of myself. So think like, oh, like there's a churro place. There's one market whenever I do it, there's an empanada truck and I love them. The House of Empanada, they're like my favorite. So I always go get the same thing. They already know me. I'm always there. And it's just one of those things that I think could really help other vendors, is supporting other vendors as well, is because you make that community yourself.
Totally. I feel like sometimes when I go to the market, the only people that buy my stuff is the local vendors, because if it's really slow, the only people that are shopping are vendors between each other, because there's not many customers. Let's talk about your product.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this beautiful piece of ring. What is this? What do you call this?
So it's just a gemstone ring. So most of these things, when you think of these rings, most people think like Western style rings, and it's just made out of German silver. It's easy to keep. It's takes a while to tarnish, so it's pretty well kept. And then the stones are just stones that I've collected. I'm a big rock collector, but there's also a place in Ogden that sells stones that I like to collect them from. But yeah, those rings take me about 30 minutes, maybe less to make, just because of the process of if I'm tumbling the stone, if I need to polish it, cut the metal, cut the bindings and everything like that to put it together. And so really like the ring does take a little bit of time, but I sell them for $25 because I understand I want people to have a piece of my jewelry, because to me, it's not just a ring. It's like, it's my heart. I love to make things. I love to share what I like, and I love to share part of me, because I think, the more creative we are and the more open we are to people, the more likely we are to change the world. So it's just kind of like a weird little thing. It's like I keep my prices short and small to make sure that I can make sure other people are happy, and also keep myself happy as well.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful piece. And you not only that you make ring, it seems like you make bow tie. Is that what that is?
Yeah. So those are.
Let me grab it.
Yeah. So you can tie them on to your hair. You can tie them onto your bag. Some people will put them on their dog, like a little collar,
like bandana?
Like a little bandana. So there's just different ways that you can wear it. And then some people like to put them on their wrists as well, or they can slip charms or beads on them and then make like a little necklace. So they're kind of versatile. They're made out of recycled pillow cases, and so most of the things that I have here are recycled fabrics that I've collected over the years through Facebook Marketplace or through the thrift store. So I try to make sure I can reduce, reuse, and recycle to make sure that I'm helping other people, but also making something fun out of something that would have gone to the trash anyway.
And in the beginning, you say you begin this business to raise money to pay for your law school. To me, that seemed very specific. Become a lawyer. Is there a reason you want to be a lawyer? What is the reason?
Yeah, so I want to be an immigration lawyer. My parents went through the immigration process, and knowing how hard it was for them, I want to make it a little easier for the rest of us, I guess. I understand that finding a lawyer who you can trust and you know has your best interest at heart is hard, and also it's hard to know who to go to. And I've lived through the experience of seeing my family go through it and seeing them put some money towards lawyers who really didn't do much, and then putting money towards lawyers who really did care. And I've always wanted to be a helper, and my favorite person is Fred Rogers. He always says, look for the helpers. And so that's just kind of who I wanted to be. And because I know I can speak multiple languages, and I know law has always been interesting to me, I felt like that was my calling, is to help other people in something that I feel like I can be very good in. And yeah, that's just how I decided that's what I wanted to fund for, because yes, it's fun to do vendors markets, but it's always nice to have a goal and purpose in mind, because if you have no goal, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're working towards. And so that's kind of why I always let people know like why I'm doing this. I want to be a lawyer. Why? Because I want to help people. Why? Because I think that's what my calling is. I feel like we're all here for a purpose and a reason, and my reason is to help people. And so that's just my thing.
It's a beautiful purpose. purpose. Let's say someone is watching this and they want to support you to go to law school. How can they buy your product? You have a website?
Yeah, I have a website. So if you look up Instagram, Facebook, it's just Rue and Co. So RUE.ANDCO. And Rue is my nickname. My mom calls me Rue. And then Co is my husband, Cody, because he helps me do these things. He'll be here eventually. I don't know where he is right now. But yeah, that's my Instagram. And from there, you can click on my link, or you can just look up Rue and Co. And there should be a website. The best way for you to know what it looks like is you'll just see pretty much jewelry. You'll see a picture of me that just says, "Hey, I'm Ruby," and then that's how you know you've hit the right place.
Wow, perfect. Well, Ruby, thank you for chatting with us and good luck with your business, okay?
Of course, thank you.